Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Firaya Kawahyuni. So today's video is about adjective. What is adjective? Adjectives are words that describe or modify other words, making your writing and speaking much more specific and a whole lot more interesting. Words like small, blue, and sharp are descriptive, and they are all examples of adjectives. Because adjectives are used to identify or quantify individual people and unique things, they are usually positioned before the noun or pronoun that they modify. There are many types of adjectives. First, comparative adjectives. As well as serving as modifying words like beautiful and big, adjectives are also used for indicating the position on a scale of comparison. The lowest point on the scale is known as the positive form, and the middle point is known as the comparative form, and the highest point is known as the superlative form. Comparative adjectives are used to compare two different people or things to each other. Some examples of comparative adjectives include words such as smaller, faster, more expensive, and less reasonable. Take a look at these examples. Whales are larger animals than dolphins. We moved to a cheaper apartment. The sequel was even more incredible than the first movie. Number 2. Superlative adjectives. Superlative adjectives are used to compare more than two people or things by indicating which one is the most supreme or extreme. Some examples of superlative adjectives include words such as smartest, loudest, most impressive, and least valuable. Here are a few examples. Adrian is the fastest member of our team. Out of all of my books, this one is the oldest. We are trying to figure out the least confusing way to explain the lesson to the new students. Number 3. Predicate adjectives. Predicate adjectives are adjectives that appear in the predicate of a sentence as a subject complement rather than directly next to the nouns or pronouns that they modify. Predicate adjectives follow linking verbs in sentences and clauses. Here are a few examples. Andrea is tall. Freddie became angry. The steak looks delicious. Number 4. Compound adjectives. Compound adjectives are adjectives that are formed from multiple words, which are usually connected by hyphens. Some examples of compound adjectives include never ending, cross eyed, and run of the mill. Take a look at these examples. She had enough of the double dealing salesman. My happy go lucky daughter loved our trip to Disneyland. The better off members of the city live by the river. Number 5. Possessive adjectives. Possessive adjectives are often used to express possession or ownership. The most commonly used possessive adjectives are my, your, its, her, his, our, their, and whose. Here are a few examples. My favorite food is pizza. Sydney spent the day with her parents. Canadians celebrated their team's victory at the Olympics. Number 6. Demonstrative adjectives. Demonstrative adjectives are used to express relative positions in space and time. The most commonly used demonstrative adjectives are this, that, these, and those. For examples, this watch is cheaper than that one. This weekend is going to be really fun. Watch out for those prickly rose bushes next to you. Number 7. Proper adjectives. Proper adjectives are adjectives formed from proper nouns. In general, proper adjectives are commonly used to say that something is related to a specific person or place. Proper adjectives include words such as African, Napoleonic, and Shakespearean. For examples, he was reading a Russian newspaper. I think Haitian food is tasty. We studied the history of Victorian England in school today. Number 8. Participial adjectives. Participial adjectives are adjectives that are based on participles, which are words that usually end in "ed" or "ing" and derive from verbs. Participial adjectives include words like amazing, impressed, and fascinating. For examples, Travis was late for his swimming lessons. Please hand me my reading glasses. The silly clown cheered up the bored children. Number 9. Limiting adjectives. Limiting adjectives are adjectives that restrict a noun or pronoun rather than describe any of its characteristics or qualities. Limiting adjectives overlap with other types of adjectives, such as demonstrative adjectives and possessive adjectives. Limiting adjectives include words such as these, your, and some. Here are a few examples. I bought some eggs at the store. She found 3 pennies under the couch cushions. Take a look at that house over there. Number 10. Descriptive adjectives. Descriptive adjectives are adjectives that describe the characteristics, traits, or qualities of a noun or pronoun. Most adjectives are descriptive adjectives. Words such as purple, friendly, and attractive are examples of descriptive adjectives. Take a look at these examples. A lot of interesting people visit this park. She told a scary story. The leaves turned orange and red. Number 11. Interrogative adjectives. Interrogative adjectives are adjectives that are used to ask questions. The interrogative adjectives are what, which, and whose. For examples, what color is your favorite? Which button turns off the lights? Whose turn is it to wash the cat? Number 12. Attributive adjectives. Attributive adjectives are adjectives that are directly next to the noun and pronoun that they modify. Usually, attributive adjectives comes directly before nouns and pronouns, but they can sometimes appear after them. For example, she has beautiful handwriting. The hungry gorilla ate the fresh mangoes. Keith gave his dad something special for his birthday. Number 13. Distributive adjectives. Distributive adjectives are used to refer to members of a group individually. Examples of distributive adjectives include each, every, either, and neither. Take a look at these examples. Each puppy got their own little dog house. Every member of the team scored a goal. I'll be happy if either candidate wins the competition. Okay, I think that's all the topic that I wanted to explain. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.